Hello guys. In this video I'll be teaching you how to connect your code in Flutter. So um, this is Android Studio. So if you're using Android Studio in Windows, it's fine. I'm currently using IntelliJ's IDEA on Mac OS, so it wouldn't matter whatever IDE you use, VS Code, Android Studio, or IntelliJ's. What you need first is, of course, install XAMPP. So I'm using 7.3, which is for Mac. Just use any version you like in Windows, but I suggest using the same version. Install it, so just click on next, 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 and then finish, and then run XAMPP, and then start these two services. Number one, MySQL database, and then Apache web server. Start them both, make sure there's no error, and then go to localhost /phpMyAdmin to confirm it's working. Okay, so you should be able to access different functions in localhost phpMyAdmin in your browser. Okay, the first thing you need to do is to go to your XAMPP folder, which is most probably in your applications or C program files, or C XAMPP, sorry, C XAMPP, and then go to htdocs, create a new folder, name it whatever you want, and then inside that folder, which I've named mine local connect, create a new file, a PHP file inside. So I'm using Visual Studio Code. What we're creating here, a PHP file in order to connect to our database. Okay, this will be the intermediary between our Flutter and our XAMPP database. Okay, so first, don't forget your PHP tags, which is this one, and then next, let's create a new variable, which is database or DB, MySQL connect, and then name it localhost because we are connecting to our localhost, and then the password, or sorry, the username will be root, and then the password, usually you have to leave this one blank. Hold on. Just leave that one blank. By default, it's gonna be blank. And then next thing is we need to have our database name. So let's name it local connect as well. So inside that one, let's create a table called users. Users, number of columns, just leave it as is, and then inside it we have our first attribute, which is named ID. Okay, right here we have AI, which is auto increment. So every time you insert a new record in your table users, it's gonna auto increment every ID. So 1, 2, 3. You don't need to specify a specific ID. And then next we'll have our name, which is sorry, let's just do username, and then have that one as varchar 128, and then we have our password here, which is gonna be varchar still 128, and then let's save it. Okay, so we have our database local connect and then table users. Yeah, and then let's create another table, which will be named probably a list of, or gallery. So we still have our ID, don't forget to auto increment, and then we have our description, which is gonna be text, and then we have our link or the URL of that picture, which is gonna be text. Okay, save. But I think we're not gonna be using gallery for now. This is just for demo purposes, what we're gonna be focusing on is the users part. So let's insert a new record here. Leave this one as is, and then for the username, let's have it admin. And then for the password, we have it 123456. Just click on go, click on the users here, and then you should have here sorry, yeah, ID1, username admin 123456. Okay, so let's go back to our VS Code. There's VS Code here. So our database name will be local connect. Don't forget your semicolon here. If not DB, okay, meaning it's not connected, then let's throw an error. Just echo database connection failed. Okay, and then if we are successful in connecting then let's do an SQL query. Let's just rename first our file name. Save. What's the rename here? Samba. Teka. Let's just do register, or sorry, login the PHP, delete the file. Okay, and so localhost slash ano pang URL, localhost slash login.php. I think mali ang URL. Don't forget your folder name, local connect slash login.php. Ayan, so wala namang error, so there's no error. So we'll proceed to our query. So next we'll have our login query, which is select all from users table where username is equals to something and password is equals to another something, but our username will come from a post request. So this is the data coming from Flutter, and then don't forget the password too. So inside the username, add a double quote, okay, and then dot username. So this is PHP's way on how to concatenate strings. And then the password also do the same. So inside your single quote, add 2 double quotes, and then dot, and then $password dot. Okay, so the result will store in a result variable, and then perform the query here. So first you have to specify the database you're connected to, and then the query itself. Then let's count how many rows it returned by using num rows. So plug in the result, so we have to we can count the rows. So next, if the count is equals to 1, or say more than 1, then let's echo an error. Yeah, let's echo an error. That means the user already exists. Not error, success. Okay, so meaning the username and password combination is correct, else sorry, count is more than or equal to 1, then success, else echo JSON encode error because there's no combination, because there's no username and password combination. Okay, so let's try to run. Okay, undefined index on line 7 and 8. Yeah, because we don't have the post yet. Okay, so how do we plug this one into our Flutter application? So it's currently running here. Let me show it to you. So right now it's like this. So when you click on login, you're redirected automatically to the home screen. So before we want it to redirect, maybe we can perform some validations first. So number one, you need to have username and password inputted, so it cannot be blank. So let's look for our navigator push. So inside that, let's create a logic. So if before that, let's create a text editing controller first. So inside inside here, okay, let's create a text editing controller named user name. Initialize that one as a text editing controller, sorry, and then another text editing controller here, which is gonna be password text editing controller, and then pass this one into the text field for the username. So here, let's add a controller. So the controller is gonna be an attribute for the text field, not the input declaration. So here we have the username, username, and then here text field, we'll have another controller named password. By the way, you can add obscure text to your text field if you want it to be obscured. So like passwords, it has this dot or asterisk, whereas without obscure text, it's just pure text. Okay, yeah, right. So the next thing to do is we're gonna create a future. So this is going to be before that one, we have to add or we have to import a package named HTTP. So from the previous classes we used http.dart before. So add it into your pubspec.yaml as well. Where is it? It's right under hold on, let's look for it. So add it in your dependencies like so, and then do pub-get, flutter pub-get. Okay, finished. So it's not red anymore, it's not error anymore. Going back, So let's also add our Flutter toast. So toast, um, your toast here is this one. This is a toast message. So how do we add that one? Let's look for the package Flutter toast. Okay, this one. So let's add Flutter toast in our pubspec.yaml. Do Flutter toast, and then do 8.0.7 pubget. Sorry, let's just do any. So whatever version it's compatible with. Okay. So now it's done. Let's go back to our login screen. Let's import a new package again. So for this one, we'll be using Flutter toast slash Flutter toast.dart. Okay. So now we need to create a future function where it will check for existing user. So let's try. So it starts with future, and then do login. It's gonna be an asynchronous function, so don't forget the async keyword here. So first specify the URL. Sorry. So let's try HTTP localhost and then /local connect /login.php, then store the response. Make sure it waits for the response, and then we're gonna use the post because remember we in our VS Code, okay, we use the post as well. We also have get, but we're gonna use post here. So just add in the URL, and then for the body, okay, so whatever data you need to pass, specify that one here. So number one, we have to pass this username. It's waiting for a username. Plug in the user controller and then the text of that, and then the password will be password.text, not user. It's username.text. Inside we have the data. Let's decode the data. So it's gonna be the body response, or the body of the response. So if the data thrown is success, then you have to do a navigator push here. So search for the navigator push, delete the if, and then copy if the data is success here, and then call the login function in your on pressed for your login button. Login. Okay. For the context, it's gonna want a context, so maybe pass it to your login function called from your text field on top function. So let's search for it, login, then maybe we can pass the context here. Okay. Login, build context, let's just name it that, and then so basically it's just passing the context from the build, because we don't have access to the context variable in our class here. So you're gonna want to pass that one here. Okay. undefined name json.decode. Yeah. Else, if it's throwing an error, let's just do a Flutter toast so that the user will know that the username and password combination is wrong or it's not in the database. So else, let's do a Flutter toast. Toast that show toast. Okay, this is an external library or an external package. So the message will be the user and password combination does not exist. Okay, and then don't forget the toast length. So you have two toast lengths. You have the length short and then the length long, I think. Yeah, so let's just do short. It's just a couple of seconds lang. Gravity, with that means where it will float exactly. So I want it to be towards the center. And then we have the background color to red. Okay, we don't need to specify the background color. Maybe the font size we can 16. Then don't forget your semicolon below. So right now it's showing a JSON error. So I don't know exactly why it's showing that one, JSON. Let's search JSON decode error Flutter. So we need to import Dart convert for that, for us to use JSON. Okay, so the error goes away. So let's try if we can log in our application with a user in the database named admin. So again, we have our admin here, one with the password 123456. So let's try it with blank. It's not throwing any error. Maybe we want to do some checks, variable checks or validation checks here. So if the username, the text is blank, or the password is blank, maybe throw an error, a Flutter toast, saying that you cannot leave both fields blank. User, both fields cannot be blank. Otherwise, then call the other functions. Yeah. Okay, done. So let's try if it's working. Started application. Let's try logging in. It's showing an error. Missing plugin library for show toast on channel. Let's go back to the show toast or Flutter toast. (807). Okay. It's not working on 8.0.7. So let's try. Okay. Maybe let's try other versions. 704 or 718. Okay, so let's try to run it again. If it runs, same error. Maybe we can try to do a Flutter clean. So just run your command prompt, then in your command prompt do cd in your development, and then your folder, and then do a Flutter clean, then just rerun the application from Android Studio. Not sure if it's running. Let's try to restart our IDE. Okay, so let's run. And hopefully it will work. So if yours is not working, maybe try to just do a Flutter clean in your project folder, and then rerun the application. So if you're watching the video, guys, maybe just skip to the part na nag-load, to the part where it's loaded na. It's taking quite a while. Okay. Ayun. Ayan. Okay. So we are now seeing the toast that both fields cannot be blank. So it will just linger for a short time. So a couple of seconds. Okay. So now let's try to type in admin, and then the password will be admin. So it's not in the database. Click on login. Okay. Connection refused. So maybe our URL is wrong. So what we're gonna do is to check for our IP address. Go to the network preferences, Okay, we have, so if you're in Windows, just do in command prompt, just do ipconfig. Okay, your IP will be there. So for my case, it's 192.168.1.1.102. Okay, so let's try it this way. Save the file, go back to your emulator, and then try it again. Okay, we have another error. Insecure HTTP is not allowed by platform. So let's do this one in our Android manifest. That XML located in Android app src main, right under application. It should be right under application. Save. Okay, let's try to do a hot restart. Same error. Okay, let's try to restart the emulator. So shut it down, then restart. So let's try if it works. I'm using macOS, but guys, the flow is very similar for Windows. So I think this error will not occur in Windows. I think it's a Mac OS only thing. Okay, let's try. Click on login. Okay, so there. The combination admin does not exist in the database. So we know for now that the combination is admin and 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there, okay. So when you type 1 2 3 4 only, the combination does not exist, right? Same. So that's it for the login phase. I'm just gonna create another video for the sign up because I haven't created yet yung UI, the UI part of the sign up page. So That's it for the login.